Setting aside everything else energetically, emotionally, physically, and otherwise in a comfortable position with your eyes closed, breathing in and out through the nostrils, palms to the sky if all of that is comfortable for you. Making your way to that place in our worldwide circle and community that resonates most for you now. Deep breath in and hold. As you begin releasing this breath now, letting go of everything that has come before in this day, all the way out to the count of 8. Another deep breath in and hold. As you begin releasing this breath now, letting go of everything that has come before since the first of the year, all the way out to the count of 8. And as you do, releasing those thoughts and feelings that have been dominating in your experience of late. And another deep breath in and hold. And as you begin releasing this breath now, letting go of everything that has come before since you were born, all the way out to the count of 8. And with that, the rest of the thoughts and feelings that may be unreleased, along with the primary expression of being that you have been experiencing most recently, all the way out to the count of 8. And another deep breath in and hold. And as you begin releasing this breath now, letting go of everything that has come before since the inception of your soul, releasing the totality of you into the arms of the divine mystery, the unknown divine presence, all the way out to the count of 8. And with your eyes still closed, Hmm. As always, please don't operate a motor vehicle or heavy equipment of any sort during this or any time we're together. It may not be safe to do so, and even more than that, what a gift it is to give yourself the absolute focus of your presence. Not safe because you never know when you're going to drop out to a much deeper experience, which many people have referred to as going to sleep. Whatever your experience of it is, just be fully with what follows and set everything else aside. Still with your eyes closed, in your mind's eye, in your intuitive awareness on the screen or otherwise, notice that cue of breath in front of your face. Each time you breathe, another unit of breath joins the back of the cue. This breath is just for you. It has no criteria, no condition. It serves you fully. As the breath flows into your body, it asks no questions about your political perspective, the ethnicity of your origin, the color of your skin, your gender identity, your sexual orientation. None of it is considered as the breath comes in to serve you fully without any condition or criteria. And as you're present with that cue, you may become aware of a color beginning to infuse itself throughout the cue, almost like a dropper of food coloring into a pitcher of water. The color expands and spreads throughout the cue. The color may be fixed or it may be dynamic. If you're assigning a color with your imagination, if you can pick something not normally present in the body except perhaps in your eyes, that you may fully be aware of the depth of support that the breath offers you and brings to you. The next time you draw in the breath, be with that breath in your mind's eye from the perspective of that color up through the nostrils, up to the crown, down into the lungs. Sitting in the lungs now as you continue to breathe at whatever tempo and depth resonates most for you right now. Slowly, as you speed up time, notice how that color illuminates the vector, the breath, the lining of the lungs, the bloodstream, and eventually each and every cell in your body. The breath is becoming you, and you are becoming the breath. And notice how there might be a sense of resonance arising in your awareness, perhaps even in your body, in response to that statement, along with a confirmation intellectually. Well, sure, oxygen goes through the lungs and into the bloodstream and into the cells. I'll make the statement again and be still and notice, be with any experience or expression of resonance, however it presents itself to you. The breath is becoming you, and you are becoming the breath. Whatever your experience, it is perfect. Be with it fully. There's no way to get this wrong. Whatever is unfolding for you is right. And as you shift your awareness from inside the lungs to outside of your body, perhaps even backing away a great distance so that you can see the entire planet in your field of intuitive view, notice the breath of the planet serving you. For in that cue of breath, each time a new unit of breath joins, it draws and comes from the breath of the planet. And so it is for everyone. Your neighbors' neighbors, those in community with you, in close and far geographic regions, out to the continent, to the hemisphere, and eventually the entire planet. With each breath, you are directly connected to each of these people, each and every person. And for some, the thought arises, but wait, I don't want to be connected to all of these people. In particular, in these times where the breath appears to be a vector, a pathway through which we might share a virus or spread a virus, come to an awareness of the breath as an illumination of our essential interconnectedness. With each breath, you are indeed connected to every single person. Doesn't mean you're taking on their burdens, their dissonance, their noise, their distortions. For the breath conveys none of that. Merely, it is a reflection, an indication that we can perceive outside of ourselves, of that innate connection that exists between all of us. And notice that the breath does not serve simply the people, the human beings, but also everything, the plants, the animals, the insects, the grass, the dirt, the water, the fish, everything. And so we can say with each breath, you are connected to everyone and everything above, upon, and within the planet. Indeed, you might even begin having an experience of breathing by and for and of the planet itself. And notice as that awareness begins to expand, the breath of the planet becomes the breath of the cosmos. For at the very edge of our atmosphere, that breath touches space, and in turn, every other aspect of creation eventually. And so we can say with each breath, you are connected to everyone and everything throughout the entire cosmos, including that energy that underwrites everything, the divine, a light that we perceive perhaps initially at a great distance on the other side of the cosmos. Yet with each breath that you draw in, it comes closer and closer until eventually it is close enough that you can perceive those twin frequencies that together comprise the divine light, the frequency of the divine itself and the frequency of perfect health. Not just as we understand it physically or emotionally or otherwise as human beings, but every iteration and expression of perfect health, known and unknown. These twin frequencies intertwine such that where one is present, so too the other. And as you can perceive that light expanding and extending throughout all of creation, eventually connecting in, perhaps initially at your nostrils, and then instantaneously throughout every level of your being, known and unknown, an invitation to each of the smallest aspects of you. Come return to your natural state of resonance and alignment, the artifacts of dissonance appearing to fall away and gather at the universal drain. For whatever remains in separation, I invite you to remove the universal plug. I'll do the same. Let's begin. It can be tempting when we sit together in deep resonance to bring an intention, a focus, a prayer, to want to direct the deep resonance of divine presence towards another, a loved one, some aspect of nature or humanity that is expressing or experiencing dissonance right now. Yet I caution you against these things. For to do so is to try to direct something which is already present within us all. Fundamentally, it needs no direction. The gift of your presence is the opening to the experience of the embodied resonance of divine presence. As it enlivens within you, it enlivens within every one. So, at least for now, could I ask you, set aside those intentions and prayers and ideas and outcomes, circumstances that you might wish were different, projections of how something might unfold in your life or in our collective experience, and instead sink in to the absolutely beautiful and glorious experience of the resonance that is your true nature, an artifact of divine presence. And if your mind takes up with an idea or a projection or a memory that takes its momentum and continues forward for a bit, when you're ready, you can just remind yourself with each breath, you are connected to everyone and everything, the divine, the light, the invitation to each of the smallest aspects, those artifacts falling away, the divine becoming you, and you are becoming the divine, and the river is flowing. Hmm. If the silence is uncomfortable, follow your breath in through the nostrils, up to the crown, down into the lungs. As you embody more fully, it drops deeper and deeper into your being. And then back up to the crown and out through the nostrils. Or perhaps eventually dropping down throughout the entirety of your being, the pathway for the breath, every aspect of your skin, breathing through the totality of all of you, not just the nostrils and the lungs. Whatever is unfolding, revealing a deeper experience of who you really are. And should dissonance arise, the ever present invitation to feel fully whatever is coming up, emotionally, physically, and otherwise. The river is flowing. The river is flowing. The river is flowing. Sometimes a more embodied experience shows up as an increase in gravity, like everything is a little bit heavier, the body can feel heavier. In some contexts, that may be interpreted as negative feedback. Here, if you're having that experience, I encourage you to recognize that as a positive. As you are more fully embodied, you open up to be able to experience and express all the resources of divine presence that are available to you and also available to be expressed through you, not just for you, but also for others. Truly, whatever is unfolding for you as we continue to sink in a little bit deeper is absolutely perfect. Be with it fully, whatever it is. The river is flowing. You may notice waves of physical resonance moving through some aspects or perhaps the entirety of your physical body. Sometimes there can be some discomfort in the head, a sign of a deeper level of integration going on. But rather than trying to understand or parse or know what is unfolding, I really invite you to drop deeper into being. The river is flowing. As the resonance continues to increase in the body, it's possible there may be reductions in discomfort or pain. But instead of trying to understand, is this healing or what is happening, return deeper to being in silence. The river is flowing. Be the river. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. If you're concluding with this part of the transmission, I invite you to return the universal plug, knowing the transmission will come to a close. I'm going to open my eyes slowly and just check in and respond to anyone who has said hi and see if there are any questions that are in the circle to reflect on before we formally come to a close today. So grateful for this opportunity to sit and resonate with you. Judy checking in. If you're on YouTube, you can respond and those comments will show up for me. I'll see them. And they'll also show up if you're on Twitter, as well as if you're on my professional Facebook page. And I don't have any way of knowing who's on the line unless you say hi. So for anyone that would like to say hi, we can sit and connect a little bit with words here before we wrap up. Gary, so wonderful to be with you, Gary. Thanks for saying hi. Much love to you. Miss Sharda is checking in. Sunshine here. Hope the smoke is blowing away and the snow is helping with the fires. Miss Sharda is making reference to the fires here in northern Colorado. I'm in Fort Collins, and just west of us has been a fairly large fire, at least here in Colorado, size wise. And then another fire a little further west. Cool weather and snow have definitely helped. We've had fresh air for a couple of days. And thank you for being here, Ms. Sharda, and checking in and for your well wishes. Angelica checking in. It's wonderful to be with you as always, Angelica. And Susan, thanks for saying hi. That's the feeling I've been missing, Susan is saying. It brings up emotion in me because I find it easy to get into a place of wanting to think or reflect or communicate about spirituality or the nature of this or that. And this morning it was so clear. Let's just be in silence. And as we come into silence, as we sit together and resonate, from my perspective, what is happening is the divine within is enlivened. And as your soul embodies and integrates at a deeper and deeper level, the experience of that resonance grows in beautiful ways and in ways that are very difficult to put into words. And as that is enlivened within us, we have a deeper experience of what some have called the peace of God. At least that's how I experience it. Of course, as always, I really think the most important perspective in this whole dynamic, anytime we get to sit together, is yours. Your perspective, your experience, and what's unfolding for you. So, Susan, thanks for checking in. I don't see anyone else checking in. No questions in the queue. I'm going to sit just for a minute or so. I'll open my eyes again, and then we can, if no one else has checked in, we'll formally close our time together today. While I'm waiting to see if anyone else has any other comments, I just want to extend just a deep expression of gratitude for the opportunity to sit with you in this way, whether you're tuning in live or through the replay on whichever platform. It is such a profound honor to explore what, from my perspective, is this most intimate interior space where we begin to encounter and experience the divine by whatever name. We have people in our community from virtually every spiritual and religious tradition and background and perspective. It's not about a singular perspective here. It's about opening up to that experience of the divine by whatever name. Judy checking in again. It's such a pleasure to be in silence. Well said, Judy. And that feels like a perfect place to leave it for today. So when you're ready, I invite you to begin returning the universal plug. I'll do the same as I begin bringing this transmission to a close. Plug all the way in. Transmission to a close now. Until we're together again very soon. Peace.